Hogwarts Legacy is an action-adventure game that takes place within the wizarding world of Harry Potter and, surprisingly, is the first game to not be based on said character. And no, I'm not going to include the Fantastic Beasts VR game. But besides all that, Hogwarts Legacy is just a fantastic game. I enjoyed playing this game, and the entire time it felt like I was playing a proper AAA title, especially in a day and age where mainstream empty worlds are being pushed and hype releases promising to revive a genre just constantly fail to meet expectations. Legacy thankfully rises high above the other would-be AAAs in this aspect. Now, does that mean this game is perfect? Not at all, but bear with me a bit and I'll explain what makes it so good. And it's definitely not Clopton's annoying ass. To start off, I want to say that I'm by no means a Harry Potter fan. I mean, I've seen all the movies and read the books, but I don't really care. I really did all that as a rite of passage for the age bracket I was in, so understand that all opinions I have on this are coming from a gamer's perspective and not a book or movie fan or a Potterhead. With that in mind, oh my god, I love this game's story. The story itself is really good and focuses on elements that weren't really explored that much in other forms of Potter media that I remember, especially with the villains. I was kind of hooked almost instantly when seeing Ranrock for the first time, just because it was so different from what I was expecting. Yeah, it's just another obviously evil character for the sake of being evil, until you realize he's not, and he has reasons for being the way he is. Without getting into spoilers, this game narrows in on goblins and their role in a wizard society, which is something I never thought I'd see in this world. And if you've never seen any form of Potter media, this game does a decent enough job at explaining this divide. I do wish it showed a bit more though, but the game does enough to get the gist. The way the game justifies your character being the main character also worked extremely well. With unknown ties to an ancient magic, you're on the same exact journey as them, only knowing what they know, seeing things for the first time when they see it for the first time. This really helped me care about what was happening in a world I wasn't too crazy about. It really helped to get me enveloped into what was happening. If that wasn't cool enough, some of these cutscenes are actually just beautiful. There's no other way to put it. Sure, you get the standard two character models just staring at each other as they speak with minimalistic movements here and there, but that's how I talk. And around that, you get really fun cutscenes that transition so seamlessly with the gameplay, at times making it feel like I was watching a movie. And because this game didn't shoot for hyper-realism, but instead focused on a very saturated style, it looked good the entire time. Every time it zoomed in on a character's face, it was hard for me to pay attention to the story because I was just so into the details. The world feels alive, and not in a cheesy IGN review or NPCs just randomly moving around kind of way, but in a you'll be walking around the school and see special interactions kind of way. It's such a small thing, but because how naturally these interactions play out, it helps to really liven up the space, especially with the other characters. Each house has their jerks and dorks, so I never felt punished for being a Hufflepuff main. Better than being a Ravenclaw and dealing with Clopton the whole time. The interactions felt great, and learning where these characters came from and why they're there just helped me care about this world more and more. And that's just in the school. Neighboring towns and villages feel just as alive and lived in, with the same kind of random events you see in school also happening in the towns, and with quests needing to be accepted by people going through their day-to-day lives. As for the gameplay is fun but familiar. If you're used to playing any kind of open world AAA, then you kinda already know how this game plays. That's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just the truth about the state of gaming we're in. But I will say, even though it follows the same formula, Legacy actually handles it pretty well. This game feels like an open world Persona without the harsh time restrictions, allowing you to explore what you want, when you want, but still allow you to hang out with friends through side quests and grind classes to get new spells. It's a fun and different take on it. And because there's so much to do and so much to collect, you always find something to do even after going through the same exact hallway 20 times. I've gotten lost in Hogwarts so many times trying to find everything, and I'm still finding new places. This school is huge, and I remember joking with my friend about how this school wasn't that big my first couple of hours in. I'm definitely eating my words searching for this last Daedalian key, and I hate it. And outside the castle walls, caves, trials, hidden items, small towns, balloons, animals to breed. There's so much going on that even after unlocking the broom and a bunch of fast travel points, I still don't fly anywhere and rarely fast travel out of fear of missing out on something. With collectibles, side quests, and upgrades hiding around every corner, it's rewarding to just take your time in this game and explore. There's that much going on, and it never feels overwhelming because a lot of this isn't mandatory. You don't have to do most of this stuff, but as a player, it's up to you to decide what's worth getting. And that level of freedom is almost overwhelming, but is definitely much appreciated. Getting into the meat of the gameplay, it's combat. As a fighting game fan and overall action game fan, this combat is great! It's super flashy, controls wells, and performing combos just feels so good. Debuffing into basic attacking, to lifting, to basic, to stun, to basic. This is definitely one of those games that I feel sorry for button mashers, as a lot of the combat requires you to break shields with the right spells, extend combos, and time your dodges and blocks almost perfectly, that if you don't know what you're doing, there's a lot going on. But once you get into the rhythm of it, man, it's solid. Every free roam game of this type usually is based off of melee combat, so even though it's still technically close range, this wand based combat just feels so different and forces you to look at all enemies around you, not just who's closest. Because every enemy has the same range as you, there's slightly more thought that goes into each battle than another game in the genre. Another thing this game handles well, which some people might disagree with, is its extended tutorial. I spent hours grinding out this game and I'm still running into new mechanics. And with how these mechanics are introduced, it's almost poetic in their timing. Right when I started getting tired of walking everywhere, they hit me with a flying tutorial. Right when I started running low on potions, I'm in a potions class to help me make more. Right when I realized going around the school is a hassle to make my potions and plant throwables, I get hit with the mission and discover a secret room that condenses all my crafting into one place. It's all convenient and slowly introduces mechanics to just not overwhelm the player. Games that do this will always earn bonus points with me. Thank you. I think my favorite moment of this was when I spent hours actually looking like an absolute clown because I was wearing the best gear I had on me. I didn't think much of it and figured this was the natural process of becoming a wizard or something I didn't know. Until I got a prompt that told me, "Hey idiot, did you know you could wear layered clothing to hide your gear?" It's now illegal for Clopton to be in the same room as me. If this game seems interesting to you, I would recommend it, regardless of how you feel about its controversies. Doesn't matter how you feel about what JK has said or has done, hundreds of people clearly put their blood, sweat, and tears into making this game who have no connection to her at all, and it shows. She's already made her money, so to punish the devs and employees who work tirelessly to make this game so good is almost sad and childish. This game broke ground by being the first piece of Potter media to officially include a trans character, so clearly besides branding, this game has nothing to do with JK. If you don't want to buy this game, I get it, but don't demean others for not thinking the same as you. All in all, Hogwarts Legacy is a great game. Is it groundbreaking? Not at all. It's more of the same of what we've been getting, just better. What it does extremely well, and it's a nice change of pace from most of the soulless AAA titles out there who really just want the money. I'm enjoying it and plan on platinuming it when I have the time. Unsure if it's for you? Yeah, you can always try to catch it on a sale. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your day and take care. I hope Clopton gets hit with the killing curse.